Good. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Are you ready for your next act? Yeah! Joe Cooper, everybody! Woo! So I was going to do a character called Joe Cooper, but I think character comedy is kind of weak and played out, so my name's Tobias Weinstein. Doctor of psychology, well, psychotherapy to be exact. I thought I'd be able to wear my sunglasses in here, but I guess it's too dark, so thanks for that lighting mistake there. I was also going to smoke a Chesterfield, but I guess they don't let you smoke inside anymore. Government. Anyway, I was fired from a teaching, well, not a teaching job, I was a school psychotherapist. I was fired for child abuse. Not that kind of child abuse, psychological abuse, it's the whole thing. If you want to see it, come see my sketch show tomorrow morning. 12 o'clock. So I've taken to writing essentially postmodern spoken word stand-up comedy. It's a genre you probably haven't heard of before. It's pretty intelligent. It's essentially about, it's a decline of humanity and things like that, it's very clever. I've written a poem of sorts. Doesn't play by conventional rules of poetry because fuck convention. It's for dead white men, and I'm a living white man. So this is called Democracy. Secondary title, The 1%, an erotic novella. So what you need to do for this, you need to imagine yourself in the position, like I'm describing you, like your condition. You'll get it, I'm sure. If you don't, you're probably not smart enough anyway. So this is Democracy, The 1%, an erotic novella. You find yourself in a dimly lit room. The only illumination emanates from a dim light bulb that swings and flickers above you, like a poorly fastened lighting implement. Though the heat in the room is nowhere near intense enough to cause you any real discomfort, the air is humid. The wall is a condensation sheen that makes it look mottled, like sweaty flesh. The room itself smells like old cum and dead bears. It's an unpleasant smell. You try to move, but you're too weak. And your hands and feet are bound to the chair with smooth cord. I sure wish my hands and feet were not bound to the chair with this smooth HDMI cable, you think. It should be noted that you are now aware you are being imprisoned by an HDMI cable. I just want to stop for a second and mention that that's a metaphor for the way in which the media elite renders the people powerless via their corroboration with financial and political fat cats. So there's a lot of subtle satire in this piece. You really got to pay attention. If you weren't laughing, it's probably because you weren't smart enough to get it, whatever. The only sound you can hear is of muffled screaming and people saying, "Ow, what the fuck, man? Why you always got to take shit too far, asshole?" So, you're not entirely sure what's going on out there, but even in this shithole of a room, you feel like you're doing pretty good, relatively speaking. As your mental faculties return in earnest, the heavy metal door in front of you, not aluminium, which is a light metal, but a heavy metal, like steel or Metallica. Anyways, this door that I've just explained is in front of you, begins to creak open with a creak. Creak, says the door. Or it would, if it could speak. But we all know doors cannot speak, right? Maybe they can. Maybe you should listen to the doors. Through the door, two hulking figures shift their bulk. While heavy-set and muscular, these two bulking hulks are of indeterminate gender. Gender is a social construct. Beneath their hairless skin with flesh like a baby slathered in value-range hand sanitizer, you get the sense of tightly corded muscle and barely restrained primal brutality, like a horse, or somebody that punches grazing animals for sport on the days that they are not toiling in the local aluminium mine. Aluminium may be considered a light metal, but the cost upon the miner is corpulent, like a very fat man. Maybe it is time we recognise aluminium for the heavy metal it really is. A jolly fat man is heavy, but his heart is light. Consider this. In the eyes of the two individuals sparkles an amused malice, the kind you feel upon seeing a person younger than you vomiting in the street due to inebriation. Yeah, that's right, you piece of shit, you think, with smug schadenfreude. Feels that body you thought so invulnerable betray you, like it does us all in the end. Death, it lingers, it waits for you. God, I wish I could still maintain an erection, you think, while looking at the kid, a little less smugly than before. Also, the giant dildos that the two people are carrying unsettle you to some degree. I should have mentioned that they are carrying dildos. Dildos so large that you are almost certain that nobody, even the CEO of the dildo company, even the children who toil in the third world factories producing the physical products themselves, ever imagine them being used on an actual human anus. These are the kind of dildos where one hand is used to sort of grip a handle that's under the base of the scrotum, while the second hand grips the shaft about halfway up the dildo in order to support the structure of said sex toy. But despite that, the dildo is so large there is a substantial droop upon the end. For a second it seems as though one of the dildos is slightly smaller than the other, but you quickly realise this is merely an illusion created by the poor illumination and your own fallible perspective. Now again, this is a poem about democracy, so that's actually a very clever metaphor. I'm sure you'll appreciate it in time. The two individuals speak in unison, as if with one voice that appears both masculine and feminine. Gender is a social construct. Choose! They demand. It's the only other sound you can hear now is your heart pounding in your ears. Choose! Spake the two, like Zarathustra. This is a Nietzsche reference, if you didn't get it. It's very clever. You needn't ask the obvious. Their intention is clear, what they mean to do to you. You know, right? Do you know? Do you know what their implication is? You'll see soon. You try to be clever, you try to take the third option and refuse to make a decision. The two hard ones speak. Very well, they mouth togetherly. We shall form a coalition and take turns drill fucking you with these comically massive sex toys. Of course, you knew by implication what they meant by choose, but hearing it put so bluntly, it's still pretty tough. Out of raw desperation, like a madman screaming at the wall of his... Sorry, my accent gets in the way sometimes. English is not my first language. I'll start saying it. Out of raw desperation, like a madman screaming at the walls of his cell, you ask, surely there must be some kind of positives for me to hold on to in this situation? But unlike the madman in the cell, you receive a reply. Although, who can truly say whether the madman in the cell hears no reply? Maybe he is really the same one. Something to take home with you after this set and consider. One of the fat beasts spoke, and it said, as a biblical reference, I'll level with you. If you pick me, if you pick the other one, ultimately you are still going to be violently penetrated with these enormous dildos for the next 4 years. 4 years, you think, an arbitrary period of time. But however, that is how it is. Virtually without respite. But I'll tell you what, I promise on my life, that at the end of those 4 years, I'll give you a cupcake. Now, at first, the cupcake really doesn't mean much. The reason you pick the one who offers you a cupcake is because you appreciate the honesties that he had and the humanness that he showed you. But as you spend the next 4 years in that room, that sweaty, cum-smelling room, 4 years that feels like an eternity due to the savage anal ravagings that you are receiving on a daily basis, that cupcake's become more than the sum of its parts. It becomes a symbol, a light in the darkness. So, as the promised day comes, you can sense it in the air. It's been a long, painful, brutal 4 years. But the time has come. You're finally gonna get that cupcake. The two burly eunuch things swagger back into the room. That look of malicious joy once again lights up their eyes, and you look at them with genuine, unabashed hope. If you're a nihilist like me, you realize hope is meaningless. You wouldn't be such a dumb bitch. Choose! They declare. So there must be some mistake. What about the cupcake, you say? There's a sinking feeling. Then, the unified voice, they speak again. So sorry, but a shortfall in the budget means that there will be no cupcakes this election cycle. And after all, there is always next time. Now, choose. So that was called Democracy. The 1%, an erotic novella. Thank you, don't need to clap. There's no need to clap. Because what a Razi will do is just think about it, you know? Roll it around in your heads, yeah? It's pretty deep, isn't it? How long have I got left, Anna?
As long as you want.
Well, that's good because I'm done. Thank you all for paying attention. I said don't clap. I wish to leave this stage in silence, the same way we all leave this world. Thank you. No, seriously, don't clap. Thank you. Do not clap.
Everybody snap your fingers for that poetry, please. Ooh, oh, ah, ooh, oh, yeah. Oh, 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 oh.